Hi everybody, and welcome to another one of my videos. So we're going to be making these booties here with a bow or without a bow. You don't have to make the bow, it's entirely up to you. So I'll run through with you what you're going to need before we start. So the hook that I've used is a 3.5mm hook. You'll need a pair of scissors and a yarning needle. And I'll just grab the yarn that I've used, just move these out of the way. So this is what I've used. It's a pink and a grey. Oh yeah, there it is. It's Hobby. If you just search that on the internet, if you did want to use this, you don't have to. You can use any yarn that you have available. So I think this is a 50 gram. Just gonna have a look. This is a 50 gram ball. And when I made these earlier, I started a new ball. I just actually grab it. I'll show you how much I've got left. So from a 50 gram ball, I've made these two booties, and this is what I've got left. See, it's plenty, it's quite a lot. I'll probably get another two, at least another one booty out of that, maybe two. So this is, yeah, the brand is Hobby. These, when I purchased these, they were really cheap, and but they're ever so good. They're cotton, 100% natural cotton. I'm just looking what ply it is. So it says here you can use a 3.5 to 4mm needle, US 4 to 6. But it's really soft, and I've noticed it doesn't bobble. Acrylic yarn, I do like acrylic yarn because that is soft, but I find that bobbles more. And I think cotton tends to wash better and shape better. But it is entirely up to you. If you want to use acrylic yarn, that'll be fine. So this is colour 61. It's a gorgeous pale pink. And then I've used for the sole and the edging and the bow. Again, it's the same type of yarn, and it's colour 97. It's a very pale silvery grey. It's gorgeous. So that's all you're going to need. If you do use a thicker yarn, just up your needle size, and that will just make a larger booty. So this booty is it's about 3 inches across the length. It will vary depending on your tension of stitching. I've got a sort of medium tension stitch. It's not too tight, not too loose. And I believe, it's hard to say because baby sizes do vary, obviously, at birth. But an average, I would say this would fit an average size baby, £7, £8 at birth. Maybe a little bit smaller even. And I think you would get at least 2 months of wear, because there is a bit of stretch in crocheted items. So, but yeah, they're gorgeous. So grab everything that you need if you did want to craft along with me, or if you want to do it at a future date, you now know what you're going to need. So enjoy. So we're going to start by making round 1. So whatever colour you want to make your sole in, just grab that yarn, and you need the end piece here. We're going to make a slip knot onto the hook. So if you just wrap it around your fingers loosely, and then where it meets, just pinch here with your thumb, and then let that piece drop. So if you insert the hook underneath and then pull through, and then just pull it up to the hook, and there you have a slip knot. You don't need a tail that's too long, that'll be fine, probably 3 to 4 inches. So we're now going to start by chaining 9. So to make a chain, you're going to yarn over and then pull through the loop, and there you see you've made a chain. That V represents a chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you should have 9 V's if you did lose count and you're new to crochet. Just go count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're going to be working into this stitch but each side. So these top loops will come along here, turn, and then go back up the other side. But we're going to start into this chain here, so not the first one, which is that one there. We're going to go into this second from the hook. I'm just going to insert a stitch mark, place a stitch marker, and that's just any piece of yarn. You can rest it across, and then when we've worked this stitch, it shows you where to join into at the end of the round. So we're going to make 2 single crochet into this stitch, excuse me, I had an itch on my nose. So insert the hook underneath this loop, and then yarn over and pull through. So for a single crochet now, you should have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and then pull through both. Okay, so you can see that hole there, which is where we've just worked into. We're going to go into there again. So insert the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and then pull through. So we've worked 2 single crochet into the same stitch, and as you can see here where I've placed that stitch marker, I know exactly where I'm joining into at the end of this round. So now we need to work single crochets into the next 6. So we're going to start with this one here. So insert the hook underneath that loop, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and then pull through both loops. That's another single crochet. So we're going to do the same into this next one here. Make a single crochet, and we're going to do same into the next one, and go into the next one, to the next, and then into the next one. I'm just going to have a quick count. Just pull up my loop. Should have one here left, which is going to be where we turn. So I just want to have a quick count. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and that was the 2 we made at the beginning. So into this one here, our last one, we're going to work 3 into the same stitch. That'll turn us onto the other side. So insert the hook, yarn over and pull through and work 1 single crochet. So you can see here, got a hole there. We're going to go back into the same one and work another single crochet, and then go back into the same hole. And as you can see, by working 3 single crochet into that end stitch, it's turned the work. Now this is the tail from when we started. So when I work along this side, I'm going to hold it at the back, and that sews it in effect. You won't have to thread it through at the end, you can just snip it. So here, when you go along this side, you're going to go into these holes here. Just try and pull that one apart. So you're not picking up one loop, you're just going to find these holes and push your hook through. Okay, so that would be the next one. You see there, and then so on as we go along. So we're going to work a single crochet into the next 7. So push the hook through here. Remember to hold this thread at the back, and the stitch will be worked over it then. So that's 1, and again find your second, which is here, 2, and just keep working away your way along, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So that brings us to the end of round 1, and we're going to slip stitch into here, which was the first single crochet that we made. But if you wanted to check, you should now have made 18 stitches. So what I tend to do is I'll just pull up the loop so I don't lose it, and I can have a quick count. So these V's all represent a stitch, so we need 18, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So if you've got 18 stitches, you've followed that correctly. So I'm just going to put up some yarn. So I'm going to do a slip stitch into here. So you want to insert the hook under both loops and then just pull it through. You're not going to yarn over, you're just going to then pull this top loop through the bottom one, and that's a slip stitch. Okay, and then we can remove the marker. So that brings us to the end of round 1, and if you want to pause it yourself and just have a double check of your stitches, it's easy to correct work as you go along if you've got the wrong number of stitches. So you should have 18. So to begin round 2, we're going to start by chaining 1. So if we just yarn over and then pull through, and we're going to be working a single crochet into the joining stitch, which is this one here, that one. So again, I'm going to use a stitch marker. You don't have to, I just find it easier. So we're going to insert the hook under this V stitch here, and then yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through, and then we have a single crochet. So into this next stitch here, we're going to work 2 single crochet. So insert the hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. So we're going to go back into here and work another single crochet. Now we're going to work a single crochet along here into each of the next 6 stitches. So here's our next one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as we turn around, we're going to work 2 single crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So the next one we're going to be working 2. So that's 1. Go back into the same stitch. And 2. So move along to the next stitch here and work another 2 single crochet. 1, 2, and then this one, which is the 3rd stitch, we're going to work another 2 single crochet. 1, 2. So that's sort of turned the work, and then we're going to work same again along this side, a single crochet into each of the next 6. So this will be our next one here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So into this stitch here, we're going to work 2 single crochet into the same one. That's 1, 2. So now we're going to, it's a little bit different the end of this round. Where our stitch marker is, where we made the first stitch, we're going to work a single crochet into this one. So if you insert the hook under both loops, yarn over and pull through and make a single crochet. So I'm just going to pull up the loop because I want to count the stitches. So you should have made 24. So if you just want to go round, starting with the one you've just made, So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So that's correct. If you've got 24 stitches, you're doing okay. Now we're going to make a slip stitch into here where we've just made this single crochet. So you can see where we've just gone into it. Insert the hook again, pull up a loop, and then just pull it straight through. Okay, and then that brings us to the end of round 2. So your sole should start to be looking like this. And as you can see, we're just building it up all the way around. So to begin round 3, I'm just going to remove that marker. I'm going to chain 1. Okay, and what we're going to be doing now is working the stitches will change. We've done single crochets. We're going to be doing some half double crochets and double crochets. So into these next 3 stitches here, we're going to work 2 half double crochet into each one. Okay, so I'm just going to again place a stitch marker across. Now I'll just show you again, this is the one where we're going to be working into, which was the joining one. So to work a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, then insert the hook under here, yarn over, and then pull up a loop. So you should have 3 loops on your hook. And we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's yarn over and then pull through 3. And that's a half double crochet. So we're going to work into the same stitch here, do exactly the same, yarn over, insert the hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. And again, you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and then pull through all 3. Okay, so we've worked 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. We're going to do the same in the next one. So again, yarn over, insert into this stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Again, you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and then pull through all 3. So again, I'm going to go back into this stitch here, yarn over and then pull up a loop, yarn over and then pull through all 3. So we're going to do the same into the 3rd stitch along, work 2 half double crochets, yarn over, pull up another loop, yarn over and then pull through all 3. Again, we're going to go back into this stitch, so yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and then pull through all 3. So just take that out a second to show you. So again, we've worked 2 half double crochet into that one and that one. Now we're going to continue with half double crochets, but we're just going to work 1 into each of the next 4 stitches. So here's our next one, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through. So if you ever do find your yarn just splits, just take your hook out and put it back through, be fine. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've worked 4 half double crochets into each stitch. So now we're going to do a double crochet into each of the next 2, which are here. So to do a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop. And then instead, like with a half double crochet, we yarned over and pulled through all 3. We're going to just pull through 2. So if we yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over again and then pull through the remaining 2, that's a double crochet. So we're going to do the same into the next stitch here. Yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop. So again, you should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and then pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. So we've worked double crochet into each of those stitches. So now to turn the work, we're going to work 2 double crochets into each of the next 6 stitches. So it's just the same stitch as what we've done, but again building it up like the circular bit. If you did 1 stitch into as you turned, it would make the work too tight. So into this next stitch here, again we're going to work 2 double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook and then pull up a loop, and then work 1 double crochet. So we're going to go back into the same stitch and do another double crochet. And we're going to do that into the next 5 stitches. Work 2 double crochet into each one. This is the second. Back into the same stitch. My yarn's snagged. Okay, so the third one here, 2 double crochet again into this same stitch. So you can see that I've just split the yarn, so I'm just going to unhook it and just pull it. If you ever do that, sometimes your yarn will split your threads. It's very easy to just redo it again, because your hook, as long as your hook always stops on here, you're not going to lose your rest of your work. So again, yarn over. And what I mean by splitting is sometimes when you pull the hook through, it doesn't always make a clean sweep through and the strands split. It's quite common when you crochet. So again, we're going to go back into this stitch here and work 2 double crochet. 1, 2. How many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got another 2 to do. So again, we're going to go into this next stitch and work 2 double crochet. Back into the same stitch. And then this should be the 6th one, where we're going to work 2 double crochet to this stitch. Okay, so you should start your sole should be looking like this. The next step is we're going to work a double crochet, just 1 into each of the next 2. Just yarn over to this one, just 1, move on to the next one and work another double crochet. So now we're going to work back onto half double crochets. So we're going to work 1 into each of the next 4. So for half double crochet, again just yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop, and then we're going to pull through all 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to now work 2 half double crochets into each of the next 3. So continue with the half double crochets, go into the next one, and go back into this same stitch here and work another one. And then 2 into the next stitch, 2 half double crochets, and then into this stitch here, another 2 half double crochets, I'll just show you something as well. When you come to the end of your work, if you think you're a stitch over left, you're not. That's what's called a false stitch. So like when you slip stitch at the end of the round, that's what it looks like. So that's what it should be at the end of this round. But if you want to pull up a loop and have a quick count of your stitches, you should now have made for this round 36. So shall we just have a quick count? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. Okay, so we can just, we make a slip stitch into this one. Yeah, so to finish this round off, we're just going to make a slip stitch into the first half double crochet that we made. So insert and then just pull through and then pull through, and that brings us to the end of round 3, and again you should have 36 stitches. So for round 4 we're going to be working into the back loops, so I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So I'm just going to remove the marker. So if you just want to start by chaining 1, okay, so these are the stitches we made in the previous round. The top loop here is sort of classed as the back loop, and the one literally at the front here is the front loop. So that's the front, this one is the back. So we're going to be working into the back loops all the way around, and we're going to be single crochet in. So I'm just going to put my stitch marker over. Okay, so I'm going to insert the hook underneath this loop here, and then yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through both. Okay, and we're going to do that all the way around. So again, go into this loop here and work a single crochet. When you do this round, try not to make your tension too tight. It's probably a good idea for all the rounds because you don't want it to bunch up too much, the sole. So try and keep your tension at sort of a nice even consistency, not too tight, but again not too loose. So we're going to this one again here, this back loop, work a single crochet, and as you can see here, it leaves the front loops remaining, and we're going to be working into those, and it'll become clear as we do it, but it is quite straightforward. So I'm just going to go into the next one. I could just continue all the way around. Just stop and show you. So that's what it should be looking like. Again, these front loops remaining. So if you want to continue doing that all the way around, and you should have 36 stitches at the end. So just keep working in the back loops till you get to the end, and then I'll meet you there. So I've not gone any further, I've just made 36 stitches, and now we're going to change colour. So if you want to grab the yarn, whatever one you're using for the booty, I'm going to use pink. So when we make a slip stitch into here, we're going to pull the colour, new colour through. So all you do is insert the hook. I'm just going to remove that one, and then grab the new colour. Probably your tail needs to be about 3 to 4 inches. So just yarn it over. It's actually really easy to change colour, and then pull through and then pull through. So we've made a slip stitch, but we've also changed colour. Now we're not actually going to be using this yet, but you have to leave it there. So pull up a loop about 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to just grab any piece of yarn like that, fold it in half, insert it in here, and then just make a bit of a slip knot. All that does is stop it. It will stop it pulling through as losing it. So we need to leave it there. And then I'm going to the grey yarn that we've just been using, just make sure it's pulled up through here, because now what we're going to be doing is working slip stitches into these loops remaining from the other round. So these front loops that we didn't work into have created a sort of ridge all the way around, and we're going to be working 36 slip stitches into these. And again, don't make your tension too tight because it will bunch up. Your sole should be looking similar to this one. Okay, so I'm going to grab the hook, and I'm going to start by inserting it into this one here, which is sort of opposite that one where we've just joined the colour. So if you insert it underneath, and then get the grey piece of yarn that we were working with, and then yarn over and then pull it through. Okay, and we're going to do the same into this next loop here. Insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then just pull it through again. Okay, don't make these too tight. Just keep doing that all the way across. And as you make more of these stitches, you'll see what effect it's having, sort of creating a sole, ridge, cuff, just gives it more depth. Okay. And when I say don't make it too tight, like don't have it really tight around your hook when you make the next stitch, just slacken it a little bit. But the more experience you become with crocheting, you get a feel for it. Okay, I'm just going to pull that up. So that's what it should be looking like. Okay. And keep working in these loops to show you. And then when we finish this round, we can finish with the grey for now. And then we're going to sew some threads in, because it's easy to do it now as opposed to when you've got a full booty made, because then you've got to turn it inside out. It's just easier, but I'll show you what I mean when we get to the end. Okay. It's not difficult, it's probably just a little bit fiddly this stage. But again, if you don't make it too tight your tension, you'll be fine. And if you get to the end and you think it is too tight and it's distorting the shape of the booty, just unravel it to the beginning of this round and start again and make it a little bit slacker. Okay, so again, it should be looking like this. As you can see, mine's not bunched up, it's got a nice even consistency of the stitches around. And I have made this many times. I probably have made the mistake of having my tension too tight. 'Cause naturally my crocheting habits or tendency, so to speak, is definitely tight. Everybody's different, but it for the benefit of a booty, it's not advantageous. Okay, so as we get to the end, I'm going to be stopping. You can pull. So at this point, I've made 36, as should you have, and then I'm just going to pull up the loop, and then I'm going to snip just a couple of inches, and then pull it through. Okay. So if you want to grab a yarning needle, and then what we're gonna do is pull that through, sew it through, because this is the right side of the booty. We'll sew it through and then thread it on the back. So I'm just going to grab a needle. That didn't go to plan. I'm trying not to wet it. Now I'm going to have to, I've got some water here. Okay, bring that back. So this is my right side. You know the wrong side because this is where our tail is from earlier. So I'm going to just bring the needle through here, this bit here, because it will close it up then. You can see that if I do that, when I pull it, it will close it up nicely. So I'm just going to pull that through. Okay, move these out of the way. And all I'm going to do is just sew it under a few stitches here, just to secure it. This will be the inside of the booty. I'll just show you that. So you can see there, it's closed that bit up nicely. Just going to go under a few more. Okay. This one we don't need to sew in because if you remember we crocheted behind it, so that's really secure, it's not going anywhere. So now we can just snip these two. Okay, and that's just two less we have to sew in at the end. So now we're going to be working with the pink. So I'm just going to take out that piece of yarn that I used to secure it and get rid of that. And then put the hook through and then just pull it up. Make sure you've got a tail, probably about 3 inches roughly. Okay, so I'm just going to secure that and then chain 1. Okay, so that's looking fairly neat now. We've made the sole, we've got our edging here. It gives it, like I say, nice depth and shape. And we're going to be working all the way across this round, the stitches here. We're going to work 36 single crochet. Yeah. So if you want to use a stitch marker, you can, because we'll be slip stitching into this one at the end. So we're going to go work into this joining stitch here, which is this one. So insert the hook and pull up a loop and make a single crochet. There you go, should be looking like that. Go into the next one, work a single crochet, and again try to keep the tension fairly loose, because even at this point you don't need it to bunch up, and at the moment that's looking okay. So go into the next one, and I always, to keep it not too tight, this bit here is where I loosen it a little bit. Well, I don't when I make the crochet, I try not to make it too tight anyway. Like I would say, if I show you, I've got that really tight on the hook there, and if I were to then make that stitch, it would be tight. Just give it a bit of slack, and again when you finish, a bit of slack. Okay, so you're just going to continue with your single crochets all the way around. I'll meet you at the end, and again you should have 36 stitches. So at the end of round 6, we've done our first round with the pink or new colour, whatever colour you're using. You should have made 36 single crochet, and we're going to join by making a slip stitch into the first single crochet made, which is here. And then at this point, just make your slip stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop because I want to sew in the thread. So this is the thread we have from when we change colour. It's just much easier to do it now, like with the others, because when you make your whole booty, if you've got any loose threads at the bottom, you've got to turn it all inside out. It's just a bit of a pain, and I've lost my needle. So I'm just going to thread this. It's not going to thread, is it, without me wetting it? No, I'm going to have to wet it. You can get some needles with huge eyes, but I find the ones with the larger, I think they're called eyes, they're thicker here, and sometimes they're harder to push through the yarn. Right, so this is our wrong side, we know, because the side facing us is the right one, and you can see here we've got the ends of the other threads. So this is where we need to sew it into. So I'm just going to sew it behind some stitches. Doesn't matter if they're the grey ones because you won't see them on the inside of the booty. Okay, just show it's nice and taut. And just a few more. If you can't see the needle on the other side, that's fine, you won't see the yarn either. Okay, so I'm just going to snip that one. And then pull the hook back through. Okay, so now we can start working round 7. So for round 7, we're going to start by chaining 1. And we're going to be working initially single crochets. We're going to work 10 into each of the next 10 stitches, and we'll be starting here on the joining stitch, this one. So again, I'm going to use my stitch marker. So we're going to work a single crochet into this one here. So that's 1. We need to do 10 of those. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's what it should be looking like. You can start to see some nice shape now. So here, these 2 stitches here, we're going to work 2 single crochet together, because what we're going to do is now start closing it up to give the booty shape. So to do that, I'm just going to insert the hook and then pull up a loop. So you should have 2 loops on your hook, but stop there on that stitch. We're going to now go into the next one here, insert the hook and pull up another loop. So now you should have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and then pull through all 3, and you've just done a single crochet 2 together. So we're now moving to half double crochets because we're building height now for the sort of toe cap, but you'll see what I mean as we do it. So half double crochet is a reminder. You're going to yarn over, insert the hook into this stitch here, and pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through all three. So again, that's a half double crochet, and we're going to do the same into this stitch here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through all three. So we've just done 2 half double crochet. Now we're going to double crochet 2 together. So into these 2 stitches here, I'll show you how to do that. So again, it's a double crochet 2 together. So we're going to yarn over, insert into this stitch here, and pull up a loop. And then we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to now go into the next stitch and then pull up a loop. So now you should have 5 loops on your hook, and we're going to yarn over and just pull through 2 of them. Okay, and that should give you 4 loops on the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and then pull through all of those, and we've just double crocheted 2 together. The next one is 1 double crochet into this next stitch here. So yarn over, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and then pull through 2. So it's just 1 double crochet into that stitch. So into the next 2 stitches here, we're going to do another double crochet 2 together. So if we yarn over, insert into this stitch here and pull up a loop, again just stop, yarn over, go into the next stitch and pull up another loop. Okay, so you should have 5 loops on your hook, and you're going to yarn over, pull through 2. So that should leave you 4. We're going to yarn over and pull through all of those. Okay, so we've just done another double crochet 2 together. We're going to do exactly what we've just done here into the next 2, double crochet 2 together. So again, you're going to yarn over, insert into this stitch and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and go into the next stitch and then pull up another loop. And again, just check you've got 5 loops on your hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and then pull through the remaining 4. Okay, so we've done another double crochet 2 together. So in the next stitch here, we're going to work 1 double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook and then pull up a loop. Again, for a double crochet you should have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and then pull through 2. So we're going to, the next 2 stitches here, we're going to do another double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the next stitch and pull up another loop, and just check you've got 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through those 4. Okay, so that's another double crochet 2 together. Now we're going to go back to half double crochets, work 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and then pull through all 3. I'm going to do the same into the next one, half double crochet, now we're going to do a single crochet 2 together. So these next 2 stitches here, just pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop, and then again you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and then pull through all 3, and that's a single crochet, 2 together. So now we should have 8 stitches remaining, 2, 4, 6, 8, which is correct. We're going to work a single crochet into each of the next 8. So again, just that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you want to pause at this point and just have a count of your stitches, you should have 30 because we've decreased by crocheting stitches together. So yeah, just have a quick count before we go any further. Okay, so hopefully you've got 30 stitches. So we're going to make a slip stitch into the first one we made, which will bring us to the end of round 7. Okay, I'm just going to remove the marker. So to begin round 8, we're going to start by chaining 1, and we're going to work 9 single crochet, and again we're going to, first one will be into this joining stitch here, that one. So I'm going to use my marker again. So if you insert the hook into here, work a single crochet, that's 1, we need to do 9, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see how it's taking shape nicely. So now these 2 stitches here, we want to do single crochet, 2 together. So if we insert the hook and pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up another loop. Again, you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and then pull through all 3 with single crochet, 2 together. This next stitch here, we want to work a half double crochet. So if we yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and then pull through all 3. Next 2 stitches, we're going to double crochet 2 together. So if we yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and go into the next stitch and pull up another loop, and again just check you've got 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the remaining 4, and we've double crocheted 2 together. So into this stitch here we're just going to work 1 double crochet, so yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through just 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2. So these next 2 stitches we're going to double crochet 2 together again, these 2 here. So again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the next stitch and then pull up another loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and then pull through the remaining 4. So now into this stitch here we're going to work a double crochet, and then we're going to work another double crochet 2 together into these 2 stitches here. So again, yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over and then pull up through 2, yarn over, and then pull through 4. So now we're going to work a double crochet. I'm just checking because it gets a bit confusing around here. Well, a good way of working it out is if you do lose track of where you are, we're going to end this round by 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be single crochet 2 together. So this next one is a half double crochet. And then these 2 here, we're going to single crochet 2 together. So pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up another loop, yarn over, and then pull through all 3 loops. And I'll just have another check. 2, 4, 6, 7. That's correct. We're going to work 7 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, if you want to pause at the end of this round, which is round 8, you should have 25 stitches. Okay, so we're going to finish this round by making a slip stitch into the first stitch we made. Just going to remove the marker. So we can now begin round 9. We're going to chain 1. Okay, and we're going to single crochet into each of the next 9. We're going to start with this one here, this joining stitch here. So I'm just going to place my stitch marker over. And then here work single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so once you've made your 9 single crochet, we're going to be decreasing the stitches again. So we're into these next 2 here is another single crochet 2 together, and we're going to do that 4 times. So if we go into this one, pull up a loop, go into the next one, and then pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through all 3. Move on to the next 2 here and do exactly the same. A single crochet 2 together. Okay, that's 2 times we've done it. So these 2 stitches here, do exactly the same. That's 3 times. Need to do it one more. So again, find your next 2 stitches. And doing again single crochet 2 together. Okay, and as you can see, that's the sort of shape you should be having now. And then it should be 7 single crochets. So let's just check we've got 7, 2, 4, 6, yeah. So 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm just going to make a slip stitch. Well, again, if you did want to pause the video, you should now have 21 stitches. Okay, I know I have because I've been counting in my head, but yeah, if you want to just double check, once you're happy, make a slip stitch into the first stitch that we made. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this and just pull the loop up. Okay, so it should be looking, don't worry like there, because you've got to remember once a little foot goes in, it will fill it out. But that's what it should be looking like. Okay, and I think that's fine. Because you've got to remember a foot would spread that out anyway, the toes, but you've got enough height to fit it in. So that's the shape that you should be aiming for. And we're now going to start working the cuff. And to do that, we're going to turn it now and work. So we've been working that way around. So we have the right side facing us. I'm going to turn it now and we're going to be working sort of this way from, so because what will happen is when we do the cuff, we're going to fold it. So if we continued this way, working that way, when we fold it, the stitches are going to be the wrong side facing on the cuff. So we're going to now, let me just put the hook back through. I'll go back to where we were, as though we've slip stitched at the end of that round, which is round 9. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it now, and then I'm going to chain 1, and this will be the stitch that I'm working into. It's going to be single crochets all these rounds for the cuff, and at the end of each round for the cuff you should always have 21 stitches. It is worth checking. Okay, so I'm just going to go into here, this one, and work 1 single crochet. And again, just as a bit of advice, don't do it too tight to the cuff. If the cuff's too tight, you're going to struggle to put it on the baby's foot. Ideally you want to roll it on like a sock, so it doesn't, you just don't want it too tight. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just say again, this is the right side, so when it gets folded over at the end it look prettier. And if I've done 4, 5, 6, 7. This round is a bit fiddly because you're just establishing the cuff along here. Once you get going, the next round will be not as fiddly. So I'm just going to go back to that. Do you see what I mean? It should be just awkward at first. But again, just don't make it too tight. Give it a bit of slack. And the reason I say that is because I've done it and I've made them, and then the cuff's too tight and it would make it very difficult to put on a baby's foot. Just carry on. Nearly there. Okay, I'm just going to stop there. I'm just going to pull up the loop. I'm just going to have a quick check that we've got 21. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yeah, that is right, because we turned it. That isn't a false stitch. That would be where we'd work into. So again, go into this one because that was where we turned it. And that's 21. Okay, so just make sure you've got 21 stitches. And again, make sure you have for each round. So I'm going to slip stitch into here, first one that we made. Okay, and just chain one. I'm going to do the same for this round. So again, that's nice, not too tight. Just put the stitch marker over. And for every round that we do on the cuff, we'll always be making the first single crochet into the joining stitch here. So if we go back in. Now with the cuff, it's entirely up to you how high you make it. 12 rows, I'm going to do 12 rows in the pink, and then the last row I'll change colour, so there'll be 13 all in all, which at the end you'll see how that folds, which I think is a nice depth, and it won't be too difficult to put onto a baby's foot. So if we just continue all the way around. I'll do this one with you, and then I'm going to leave you to it, because all these rows are exactly the same. You're just going to be working 21 single crochets. I'll show you a way of counting the rows if you do lose count. Just get to the end of this one and I'll show you a way of counting rows. Do that. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. Okay, so when if you start, when you've done a few more rows, you might lose count. I don't know if you can see that here. I count them by there. The top of that stitch there is one row. So that's 1, 2. Okay, and as you do them, that's just a really useful way of knowing exactly where you are. You can probably guess anyway, because you'll see the ridges. But these, I call these the top of the stitches here. And then these would be those ones there. So that's a good way of counting how many rows you've done. So I'm just going to make another slip stitch into the first one that we made. I'm going to stop using the marker now because it's I don't really need it. It's just, if you do, continue using it. So again, slip stitch into the first one we've made. Okay, and then chain 1. And you're just going to do exactly the same, another 21 single crochet, and always remember, join first one into the joining stitch here. Okay, so just continue working your way around. It's always the same, 21 single crochet, and like I say, I'm going to do 12 rows, but it's entirely up to you. So when you've had enough, or you feel you've got enough rows, just stop, and then I'll show you how to change colour. So I've done 12 rows for the cuff, and I'm going to now join and change colour. So I'm going to insert the hook into the first single crochet. I'm going to go back to the grey that I did the sole in, and then yarn over and pull it through. Just pull it through that one as well. Oh, I've done that very tight. Just grab it again and then just pull through. Okay, so I've changed colour. I'm just going to make sure they're pulled securely. So I'm going to pull the pink and the grey and then just chain one to secure it. Okay. So the pink that we were using and the tail of the grey, I'm going to hold behind the other stitches that I do here, because then we won't have to sew them in at the end. So what we're going to do is work 21 single crochet around here. So if we insert the hook into the joining stitch here and make sure it goes underneath the pink, the grey tail and the pink that we were using, yarn over and pull up a loop and then make one single crochet. Okay, and again, not too tight for this round either. You don't want to make the top of it really tight. So again here, go into this stitch here and then work another single crochet, and then again do that, and remember to keep holding these behind, because then at the end we can just snip those. Just less sewing, less threading in, which is always a bonus. And let's keep going. When you get to about this point, just cut the pink level with the grey, because otherwise it'll just get in the way. I want to snip that and can take the pink completely out of the way. And the reason I say don't do it too tight, again, because I have done before, and you don't, it just ruins it. It makes it too tight to put on the baby. And if you think you have, just unravel it and do it again. Most things are fixable in crochet. Just going to sew behind, thread crochet behind these for one more. I'm just going to move those out of the way. We've done enough. And then keep going. Too tight. Let's do that one again, because it just split. I've worked, this is cotton yarn, but even with acrylic, sometimes the strands split. It doesn't really matter which yarn you're working with, you'll find that most have a tendency to do that. Okay, so I've made 21 single crochet. I'm going to slip stitch into the first one that we made, and then we're going to snip and then fasten off. Just pull that through. Okay, so these two here, the ones we've crocheted behind, I'm just going to pull them fairly tight, because sometimes they bunch up between stitches, and then just again pull that out. So those two I can grab and just snip. Okay, it doesn't matter that you can see that, because we're going to be turning this anyway. This is the wrong side. So now we need to sew in this one here. I'm just going to grab my needle and wet it and thread that. It's not going very well. I need to get bigger hooks, I think. Sorry if you can hear my stomach rumbling. No good, I'm just going to have to snip that in a bit again, because it's not very clean, and wet it again. Bingo. Okay, so that's threaded. So what I'm going to do with this one, you can see here, I wouldn't pull it that way, I'd pull it this way. And remember, this is the wrong side, so you can bring it down here. Okay, and then I'm just going to go through some of these stitches here at the back. And again, because this is the wrong side, you shouldn't see this on the other. Okay, that'll do, that's plenty. Okay, so I'm going to snip that. So that's what it should look like. And don't worry if you think, don't always assume it's misshapen here. It's not. That's the way it's supposed to be. You've got to remember that's going to be filled out with a foot, a little foot. So let's fold that over. So yeah, I've done 12 rows of the, or was it 11? Yeah, 12 of the pink, and then obviously change colour with the grey, which I think is quite a nice depth, height. I like that. But again, you don't need to do that at all. It's up to you. You might want it maybe half of that. So that's the booty, and obviously you need to make 2 of those. Now I'm going to show you how to make a bow embellishment to put on the side, sew on the side. If you don't want to do that, you can finish now, you don't need to continue watching this video. But if you do, I'm going to show you now how to crochet a bow, and the bow is really easy. It's 1 round to complete it all. So yeah, I'm going to do that next. We can now start making the bow, and this will be an extremely easy bow to use. It's my own pattern and it's completed in 1 round, so it's really simple to do. So we're going to make a magic ring. So if you just grab the end of the yarn, the colour that you want to do your bow in, I'm just going to do it the same colour as the sole and the edging of the cuff. So where it meets here, just pinch and let this piece drop, and then just pull it through. So insert the hook, pull that one through that you've just dropped. Okay, and then just pull this piece here. Try and keep it all together with your left hand, and we're just going to chain 1. So I pinch it on the hook here with my finger and then make a chain, and that just secures it. Okay, so I'm just going to grab it here with this thumb and show you. So there's the ring, and there's the tail that you pull at the end. You can pull it already, to be honest. Just draw it a little bit. Right, so now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this chain here of 4 counts as our first stitch, which will be a treble crochet. So now we need to make 3 more treble crochet. So again, just make sure everything's in place, because we're going to be working into this ring here. So now we need to yarn over twice, once, twice, insert the hook into the ring and pull up a loop. So you should now have 4 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through just 2. And that should leave you 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. And then you should have 2 remaining, and then just yarn over and pull through 2. And there we've made a treble crochet. So we need to do 2 more of those. So we're going to yarn over twice, go into the ring and pull up a loop, yarn over and then pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Yarn over twice, making a treble crochet, go into the ring and pull up a loop, yarn over and then pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we've chained 4, we've made 3 treble crochets, and now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to bring this to slip stitch into the ring. So bring that through and then just pull that loop through the one on the hook to make a slip stitch. Just going to grab the tail, close that up a little bit, move that along. Okay, so there is part of your bow, should be looking like that, and we're going to do exactly the same to form the other half. So we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to make 3 treble crochets. So if we yarn over twice, go back into the ring and pull up a loop. Again, you should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, leaves you 3. Yarn over and pull through another 2. That went all wrong, we'll do that one again. Yarn over twice, pull up a loop, and yarn over and then pull through 2. Sometimes the strands do split, it's just part and parcel of crochet. Pull through another 2 and then pull through another 2. It doesn't matter, you just do it again. So just pull that one across there. So we're going to do that again, another treble crochet, yarn over twice, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Right, we need to do another one. So yarn over twice, go back into the ring and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So again, we've chained 4, we've made 3 treble crochet, and now we're going to chain another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring that back to the ring and make a slip stitch. Okay, pull that across. Okay, should be looking. Try and twist that like that. So now we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to slip stitch our way back. And the first, oh excuse me, that's my water bowl. The first slip stitch will be not this one, the first chain from the hook, but in the second one. So insert the hook and then pull up a loop and slip stitch. So that's 1. We need to do 6, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so that's what it should be looking like. And into the ring here, we can actually, I'm just going to grab the tail of that and close it up a little bit. There we go, we don't need it that big. So I'm going to slip stitch back into the ring. Okay, so we've made one of these, the tails. We need to do another one. So chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again we're going to slip stitch our way back. So don't go into this one, which is the first chain from the hook, go into the second, do a slip stitch, you need to do 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We're just going to slip stitch into the ring. Okay, pull your loop up, so we're going to fasten off. So just snip, and then we're going to fasten that off. Okay, I'm just going to grab the tail for the magic ring And then I'm going to close that so you can see what it looks like. So yeah, should be looking like that. I can pull that even closer. Where is it? You can pull that as tight as you want. There you go, that's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to knot these and then I'm going to sew them in. So I'm just going to lie it on the front, the right side, wrong side facing up. Because these have ended up in the same place, it doesn't matter if you knot it. It just gives it extra security. Okay, so that's the bow. So I'm not gonna sew much in, just a little bit because we've already knotted it. So all I'm gonna do is grab a yarning thread and then sew those ends in the back of the stitches. So that is a lovely bow to make, really easy. You hardly need any yarn and it's done in one row. So then what you can do is sew that onto the side of your beauty, which I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to use grey, just normal thread, and I'm going to, hang on, let me think about this. It's probably easier to do it actually while it is folded down. I think I've done it that way before, because you can feel the needle coming out through here. Obviously you don't want to sew it together to the other part of the cuff. It only takes a few stitches to secure, and that'll be fine. And then when you do your other booty, sew it on the opposite side. Okay, so if you want to do that, and once they're sewn in, we can have a look at them again. So once you've made your two booties and your two bows, this is what they should be looking like. I've just put some toy stuffing in these so we can see exactly the shape they should be. So I've sewn the bows on. Again, just use normal thread. Obviously make sure you don't sew it to the other side. That's that one and that one. And there's the soles. I think they're really pretty and cute. I think they're simple, easy to make, and obviously you can pick whatever colours you like. You can make multiple pairs to colour coordinate with different outfits. You could do boys ones. Obviously you might not want a bow, but you might do. There's no right or wrong. And in the description for this video is my Instagram link. If you want to hit that, and you'll be taken straight to a giveaway of these booties and some others. I'm going to do a booty bundle giveaway on Instagram. All you have to do is hit the link in the description, and then on Instagram follow me and leave a comment, and I will message somebody directly who wins it. But there'll be more information on the actual Instagram post of what the giveaway is, so take a look. Now for this video, if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can do live tutorials. Unfortunately, the way YouTube's set up, you can't until you have 1,000 subscribers. It won't let you allow you to do it. But that's what I really want to do. And then people can message me as we go along if you're having any problems, and it'll just be a fun thing to do. So thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and yeah, and please feel free to leave any comments, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.